Deadline day.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Ah, yes it is. The most stressful day of the football year. It is deadline day. Happy deadline day, gang. What's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that. And look, for all the criticism that get thrown at Chelsea Football Club, they're always good value on deadline day, and you never know what the ruddy heck is gonna happen. And of course, at the moment, we are trying to relieve ourselves of footballers, not generally, not that kind of channel. Relieve ourselves of footballers. Many of them, of course, we've heard things like, apparently Armando Bria to Ipswich is off. He's staying at Chelsea to rehabilitate and recover what is maybe an Achilles injury. Something that was flagged up in the medical, not something that he's like hobbling around on. So I guess Chelsea will try and flog him again in January. They got time though. He's on a long contract, I believe. But of course, Sancho, Sterling, Osimhen, Ivan Toney. Is he just going to go to Saudi Arabia? Big movers and shakers in the transfer window Chelsea will be. Yeah, and even like Brentford calling in for Chilwell and stuff like that, and we're going to talk about all sorts. And apparently, Todd Boehly is the man. The man in Naples. He is the man. Well, he's in Italy. I don't know if it's Naples. Romano spoke about that. So look, this is the morning. They'll do at least another video today. Probably a couple because the developments in the deadline day. I want you guys to be updated as quickly as possible. Stick with me, my sweet, sweet viewers. And thank you for supporting the content as always. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Hit the bell if you choose to subscribe. Let's get into it. Right, man. Great resource for a content creator like me is listening to the London is Blue podcast when they have people on like Matt Law or Ben Jacobs. He was with Nick Villaney, host, speaking about the financial situation with Chelsea at PSR. A recurring theme with Chelsea is they feel like they're just fine. South Park reference there. And that they're gonna be not breaching any PSR rules. They get the Mason Mount money this recent financial year. It was pushed a year forwards. They've sold themselves their own hotels, and that's all gone through fair market value despite nasty talk sport headlines. Apparently they're okay, and they feel they're okay. And obviously there's this concept of the Chelsea owners are sensible and intelligent money people. They make the money and they know how to move within regulations. So Chelsea will feel now that they're going to be okay, that they can do more deals essentially. So we could have poured one out for Romelu Lukaku's Chelsea career. He's been announced as a Napoli striker. He's back with Daddy Conte. The love story is complete, and the fever dream nightmare for Chelsea is over. The curse is lifted. I was so gassed when we signed Lukaku. I thought he was in such a good spell of form and a couple of years in his career. I thought he was going to be the one. He was not the one. He behaved like a silly sausage, and now he's gone. So let's not spend any more airtime speaking about Lukaku, but yes, it is very much over. Right, we are going to talk about Osimhen in just a moment. Let's do some quick stuff on Ben Chilwell. Now, Chilwell, he's a tough one, because unlike someone, say, like Trevoh Chalobah, who I believe can and possibly will be reintegrated into the Chelsea squad after the transfer window closes. Like, he's part of the bomb squad, the sort of pure profit asset gang training away from the first team. I feel like he's likely to be integrated. I don't see any issue with him. For example, yesterday, this is the only reference I'll be making of the Chelsea loss to Servette. If you want my match review, go watch it from the previous upload on Thursday evening. You can't tell me Trevoh Chalobah playing as that right back, right centre back hybrid like Disasi wouldn't be good. I feel like he would be fine. Look, my long-term vision for Chelsea is Colwill and Fofana. And by the way, congratulations to both of them respectively for being called up to their senior international team. Obviously, Lee Carsley called up Noni as well, Noni Madueke. I did say that, didn't I, here on the channel? I said, he could be, he could call up Noni because he's coached him at under 21. So that's really interesting. But yeah, so the long-term plan for Chelsea in terms of first team, first choice is Cole and Fofana. These young players that can develop chemistry over the next decade together and become an iconic duo. But you need more. You need more when you're Chelsea and you're playing in Club World Cups in Europe and Cups and going deep into the domestic competitions. And, yeah, I mean, obviously the Monaco boys and Badiashile and Disasi aren't inspiring confidence of late. So I do think Chalobah can be reintegrated, and he always backs himself to every year, convince a new manager that he can do it. Whereas someone like Ben Chilwell, it's just so difficult to see where this guy is going to play in Enzo Maresca's system. Both fullback roles, whether you're inverting or you're tucking in, is just not what Chilwell does, unless Maresca tweaks his system slightly and affords one of the left back to get forward sometimes and stay forward and has particular cover. I don't see that happening. I don't see him changing his idea, as he calls it, his philosophy. So Chile is probably one that they're going to try and sort out today. Fabrizio Romano has been told that I'm getting this off at Cy Phillips on X. He said yesterday. I'm told today, but he said that yesterday, so Thursday. Someone from Brentford called to ask about Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell to Brentford, I can kind of see it, to be honest. I kind of feel like that would be, transitional, high-octane, up-and-down football. Thomas Frank gets to stay in London. It gets to stay in, West London, Brentford. Yeah. See what happens with that. Alright, we got to move quickly. Jaden Sancho then. Jaden Sancho, Romano tweeted this last night, or posted on X. Chelsea are currently talking to Manchester United for Jaden Sancho in a separate deal from Victor Osimhen. Yeah, I don't know why he needed to clarify it's a separate deal for Victor Osimhen. It's got absolutely nothing to do with Victor Osimhen. Both deals are still being negotiated. And Al Ali officials have met with Osimhen's agents in Italy. But there's someone else in Italy as well. We'll talk about that in a moment. Jaden Sancho, the more I think about it, the more I kind of like it in theory. We know that wingers are so important to Enzo Maresca's system, and he's been very vocal about a specific kind of winger he likes. Obviously, he's persisting with Mudryk, it's frustrating, but clearly on the right, Noni Madueke is the type of winger he wants. He doesn't want a Raheem Sterling. He wants more of sort of chalk on your boots, touchline, byline, dribble in, cut back. Raheem Sterling, he used to be sort of running in behind or receiving cutbacks, but he's kind of not anything anymore. Still, I can understand Jaden Sancho. Apparently, he knows him very, very well as a player, and he wants him. And if that's the truth, then fine. Jaden Sancho on the left, Noni Madueke on the right, and then you got your Nkunku's, your Cole Palmer's to play on the inside slightly. Your Joao Felix's, your Dewsbury Halls. He needs to buck his ideas up a little bit, doesn't he? Look, huge thing with Jaden Sancho is, will he reduce his salary? Of course, there's loads of links to Juventus. There's been multiple conflicting reports from different publications, both from the UK and Italy. Some suggesting he'd rather go to Juve, some suggesting he'd rather go to Chelsea. I would have thought he'd rather go to Chelsea because he's a London boy. He's a self-proclaimed Chelsea fan. Lots of young players having fun at Chelsea, but at the same time, he's gone abroad before, of course, to Dortmund successfully. Juve are a massive club. Maybe he feels like he'll get more guaranteed starting minutes, and who knows, maybe he'll get a bigger base wage packet at Juventus that don't have, an out of Champions League clause, less pay, and all this kind of stuff that we're structuring and we're currently discussing with Victor Osimhen. So let's talk about Osimhen then, the big story. Alright, so this 4-striker list I think is a little bit unrealistic now. I do think it's Chelsea are going all in for Victor Osimhen, and there's sort of Tony lingering in the background. I'm speculating that whoever Chelsea don't get, the other one will go to Saudi, or vice versa, the one that goes to Saudi, or Al Ali, the other one will come to Chelsea. Do you see what I mean? One each, as it were. And there's different reports suggesting different things. Now, on X, Chelsea people didn't arrive today. They arrived 2 days ago in Italy, apparently. Of course, people were seen at Servette in the stadium. I think it was like Boehly and a couple more. But Fabrizio Romano saying you've missed someone in that pic, referencing that Todd Boehly is in Italy, and Todd Boehly has been in Italy negotiating the Osimhen deal for 2 days, hence his absence in the Servette stadium. Though, do you remember ages ago there was this story that suggesting that Boehly and Boehly have fallen out? I haven't actually seen them together for a while. It's always like Boehly and the sporting directors, or Boehly and sporting. I don't know. I'm sure they're still friends, right? Anyway, Todd is in Italy trying to make it work, right? Ben Jacobs posted this this morning, 43 minutes ago at time of recording. Chelsea have informed Napoli they are prepared to make a loan with an obligation to buy for Victor Osimhen. Now, of course, the reason for doing this, Osimhen will accept this because it means he's going somewhere. His future isn't uncertain. This is done for obvious reasons, for accounting reasons. So your loan, you pay like a loan fee, or you can structure it in such a way that you kick the can down the road in terms of financial outlay in certain accounting periods, right? So you're saying, right, will you make the payments then, and therefore it's not outlay now, and therefore profit and sustainability rules, or FFP, UEFA, whoever, they can say they can't have a go at us, basically. This is done all the time, you guys, the loan with an obligation. Yes, so there's still no agreed terms with Osimhen yet, but further talks this morning late into the night last night and this morning. Al Ahly have now agreed financials with Osimhen, but he's yet to say yes to the move. The Saudi club have made a 68 million euro bid to Napoli, which I think Napoli would accept. Great deal in isolation, you'd have to say, for Osimhen. Like, Di Laurentiis is probably hating this, the big chief over at Napoli, who's notoriously a tough negotiator and always wants to get the most out of every transfer. The fact how his prized star asset is going for like half the money he originally wanted, he'll be hating that. Osimhen is likely to be the biggest story on deadline day. Yeah, so this is the big story. Obviously, Boehly in Italy, Chelsea trying to get it done. Everyone's suggesting that it is all in on Project Osimhen. That's what they're going for. This is the player they're going for, that they're not looking at, and they're currently not negotiating alternatives. Some people suggest that there is Tony as a possibility in the background, but they want Osimhen. Now, to reiterate some of the stuff that was spoken about in yesterday morning's video, again from Ben Jacobs speaking, that Chelsea would pay Osimhen's salary, his current salary, but would have to be structured in such a way that essentially is you have to earn it, man. You have to earn it, and you have to be in Europe. So if you're out of Europe, as in Europe being the Champions League, because it's such a massively important revenue stream, that you get an immediate 25% wage cut like everyone else, right? You just do, which he might not be. And he does seem motivated by money, Osimhen, which is a little bit concerning. Well, not really. I mean, everyone is, but more so than others, apparently. Like, certainly more than Joao Felix, who took a massive pay cut just to come to Chelsea. I think Joao Felix probably had other options as well, and clearly it's like Saudi or bust at the moment for Osimhen, which he really might go to. He really might take that option. So the 25% reduced wages if you're not in the Champions League, probably, minimum requirements for certain key metrics met, and of course you think goals, assists, and I do wonder if there's other performance metrics, all-round performance metrics, and maybe for example, appearances made, appearance bonus and stuff like that. Stuff that essentially they're not just giving him this flat rate that will financially hamstring them and just look like another silly Raheem Sterling contract, which is like really, really frustrating. And B, just immediately upset the dressing room those, because they're all on less money and a structured incentive-based contract. It'll probably be a bit of understanding, like I said recently. Osimhen, Scudetto winner, African Player of the Year. big striker, like fine, big name, get paid a little bit more base salary than us, and he's got this kind of contract where he can earn loads of money if he is the guy, if he's, you know, brings it. Do you know what I mean? I think I think there'll probably be an acceptance of that, but I don't want us to go too crazy on it, okay? And, you know, in that instance, you know, Mark Yu, I love Mark Yu, but we probably would have done better if Jackson started yesterday. Jackson would have started yesterday if Osimhen starts the Premier League games. All right, so we'll see what happens there. It's up to the player. I feel a deal can get done with Napoli. It's if he can accept the buy-in, if he can buy in, to the plan, the project, the structure, then I think Chelsea will sign him. And also, I do think he wants to go to Chelsea. I think he wants to go to Chelsea over Saudi, but he also just loves money, clearly. So if the money's too different, he will probably just take the bag, despite what his agent's saying. But, you know, I do think there's an affection with Chelsea there. John Obi Mikel keeps speaking to him. He loves Drogba, whatever, So that, of course, will be the blockbuster story this week. Today, these next hours, and we will follow that closely. Of course, the other big one as well is Raheem Sterling. What the ruddy heck's going to go on with Raheem? Of course, he was been linked to Man United originally. Can there be something with the Sancho deal? There's talks now. I did react to it a couple of days ago, but increasing talks about Arsenal. Of course, Mikel Arteta knows Sterling well from his time at Arsenal, and he likes players that he's previously worked with. Martinelli, for me, is not that convincing as a starter, and, you know, Sterling is reportedly accepted to reduce his wages to go play for Arsenal. Arsenal don't want to pay a fee for Sterling. I bet they don't. That, you know, I wonder if, like, there could be, because we owe Raheem Sterling £70 million in wages, 70, and he's not wanted. So there's the idea of, like, right, well, he's under contract. Maybe he just agrees to rip up his contract and he goes to sign for Arsenal and gets a free, like, and we just literally absolve ourselves of 70 million wages. He cost £47 million originally. He's had 2 years at Chelsea. Book value goes down quite quickly. It wouldn't be a massive loss. It depends how they want to view it, really. I wonder if there could be like a token £15 million transfer or something, and he reduces his wages. And obviously, for a guy who wants to stay in London, going to Arsenal, a very good team, who, you know, has no allegiance to Chelsea. You know, he was originally at QPR, went to Liverpool, went to Man City. If he was to Arsenal, it would be pretty funny. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Anyway, of course, I'm going to cover the stories closely and meticulously here on the channel, so do keep it locked to Football Therapy. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing. Turn the bell on because you're going to want to be notified when I upload with all this news coming out. All right, keep it locked. Peace.